Okay, Guru Nation, recording this before I go to the site. This is important and it's quick. When you are a site, when you are a coordinator, when you are a research assistant, I don't care what it is, an admin for a site, I don't care what. Whenever call or text a patient for anything, especially if it's deemed important, like, hey, your visit is next week, and then they don't show up. And then you call them and have a conversation. Yeah, I couldn't show up because whatever. I'm gonna try to come in a few days. And then you schedule it and they don't show up. And then you call and text them and they say, yeah, I'm sorry, I've been really busy. I'm gonna come. And you tell them, hey, you're out of window. It's okay. We can take that deviation. The patient doesn't know nor care what a deviation is, nor should they. But you should explain to the patient, hey, the study has strict requirements. They're going to want us to eventually re-educate you. And if it happens too often, they're going to want us to withdraw you. And the patient says, yeah, I understand. I will try my best to come. And then when their next time they say they're going to come, they can't because something happened. But they'll eventually come. At some point, you've got to have this decision about, is the patient capable of continuing? And now that's a separate issue. I always try to train my staff, do whatever we can to make sure they come in. Let's keep them in as long as we can. Let's take the deviations, the out of window deviations. Let's make sure that they're still dosing properly. Here's the thing. How does a monitor know we're doing that? And the answer is they don't. Or even more so, how does an auditor know we did that? The answer is they don't unless it's put down and documented in the notes, in the source, whether it's e-source or a paper source. It doesn't matter. It's not documented. It didn't happen. So you could have had, and I've noticed this for my staff, which I told them we got to not do this anymore. Everyone's guilty of it, myself included. Anytime you have a conversation with a patient, you need to go back to your source at the last encounter and add a note, add a sentence. I contacted patient today. Maybe it's more than a sentence. Re-educated him on the importance of being compliant with study visit windows. Patient indicated that they are aware. No AEs to report. And patient still has IP supply. You got to document this stuff. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. And I know the sad part is every site has these conversations, at least the good sites have these conversations with the patient, but if they don't document it, it appears that they didn't. So it's almost like you're wasting your time even having the conversations because if it's not documented, it didn't happen. And something very simple that's easy to forget. We all get busy, my own staff included. You gotta open the last encounter, the last time they came in, and add a note. At least this way the monitor is aware of what's happening. Now, if it goes on too long, the monitor, somebody's eventually going to say, hey, patient's way out of window. I think we just need to withdraw them at this point. Or if they run out of the IP or whatever the case may be. And then you need to document again. Patient was called in for an early term visit. Patient was reminded to bring their investigational product. If they didn't, now you have to follow your SOP on how to obtain investigational product. Patient was sent a certified mail. Patient was requested the IP, and certified mail is what's in most people's SOPs to request IP. And then again, it's documented. And then if at that point, if they don't return their IP and there's three documented, at least for our SOPs, a certified letter and three documented attempts, we've done our part. But the problem is most sites don't document any of their attempts. Most sites have way more than three attempts at communication, sometimes way more than three conversations with a patient that's lost to follow up. And the patient communicates, but then life happens, they can't come back. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. An auditor is not going to care about your story. Auditor is going to sit there and say, so will a monitor. You'll tell them all your stories. The monitor or the auditor will sit there and say, cool story, bro. You didn't document anything. Your SOPs say that you document everything. That's a finding. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Bye bye.